Hello. At our April 13th school board meeting, our school board is going to have to make some difficult decisions, some critical decisions for the future of our school district, and I wanted to share some data with you that has implications for those decisions and help you as a public understand as best as you possibly can what they are facing and what our school board is needing to decide. So today I want to share some information with you about our enrollment, the directions it's going, and the implications of that. To start with, enrollment data at Ridgeway School over the course of the last 10 years. If you go back a half a dozen years or so, we had 173 and 162 students at Ridgeway School, primarily because we bused the fifth grade entirely to fifth grade and had them in the portable classrooms out there. When there was space available at Dodgeville Elementary School and we brought the fifth graders back into town, Ridgeway's enrollment was at 74 at that point. At that point in time, we did some combination classrooms, did some personalized learning, and we've done some more experiential learning. Those have been successful experiments, but in the meantime, the enrollment at Ridgeway School has continued to decline to the point where this last year we had 52. Truth be told, at the time when this coronavirus lockdown went into place, we actually had 48 students at Ridgeway School. Another piece of information that enters this whole dynamic is our district's enrollment. Over the course of the last 2 years, we have had the smallest ELP and kindergarten classes that we've had in many years. What that indicates to us is that our overall enrollment in the district is likely to decline as well. So when I take those numbers and project them forward from the 1,310 student number this year and project forward for 5 years, we get to 1,208 students in our district. What that means from a fiscal standpoint is $1 million per year less in spending revenue. So someplace in this time frame, if these enrollment patterns hold true, we're going to be needing to find $1 million less in spending. When you put those two pictures together, you start to consider all sorts of implications. Looking at our cost per student figures. This year, our cost per student at Dodgeville Elementary was $7,900, so about $8,000. At the high school, it's about $9,000. At the middle school, about $10,000. And at Ridgeway School, about $11,600. That's our cost per pupil. Overall spending per pupil, that margin of about $4,000 difference between Ridgeway Elementary School and Dodgeville Elementary School holds true. Let me continue. This particular year, one other factor has reared its ugly head. At Ridgeway Elementary School, we now have some immediate maintenance needs. First of all, this past year, we needed to spend significant dollars on the boiler in that building just to keep it functioning. But it is clearly at the point where that boiler needs replacing. Does it have to be replaced today? No, but it does need to be replaced quite soon. And the price tag on that is a minimum of $150,000. In truth, it's probably more like a $300,000 replacement, but minimally $150,000. A second factor at Ridgeway is an asbestos issue that we now have in the hallway at Ridgeway School. We need to do some asbestos abatement and tile replacement. And between those projects, that comes to about an additional $70,000. So between the two, we need to spend about $233,000 before we open school next year. This is an estimate, and there are ways to manage this, but these projects would need to be done before we open school next year. There are also ongoing maintenance costs at Ridgeway School, but these are long-term things that we do on a regular annual basis. So the question then arises, what happens if Ridgeway School is not there for classes in the future? If you look at our enrollment this year, I look at the number of teachers that we used. At our elementary school, we had 26 sections. At Ridgeway Elementary School, we had 3. These are regular education teachers, not counting special education and the other support services that go along with those. But we had, across our elementary, we had 29 sections. I just did an analysis that said, what if we had put all of those students in one location this year? It would have required 26 sections. Instead of the 29 that we used this year, it would have required 26. When I project that forward financially, that's a savings of about $210,000 just in those 3 teaching positions. You have to remember all of these are estimates, and the number of sections varies according to the grade level. But looking at these sections, even now, our class sizes would all be under 20 if they have been combined into 26 sections. The truth is, it's just more efficient to be in one location. That's not credit to DES or Ridgeway's fault. It's just the logic of matching those students with sections and with teachers. So when I project that entire picture, when I think about if we were to choose to close Ridgeway School, I estimate an annual savings of about $378,000. That includes the teaching staff, which I talked about. It includes secretarial positions, custodial positions, support positions. My proposal would not include reducing all of that in one fell swoop. Those people have worked for this district a long time, put in great years, but that reduction could be accomplished through attrition over the course of the next few years quite easily. We always have turnover in our teaching staff and our working staff. There's also a reduction of about $60,000 in annual maintenance costs for the Ridgeway School. So when you combine those two, there's a potential reduction of $438,000 on an annual basis. When I go back 2 slides and look at that district enrollment, and I think about reduction of $1 million over 5 years, this type of a step would be a great start. Of course, every decision like this cannot be made simply based on the finances. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of investment, both personally and emotionally, for many folks in both the Dodgeville and Ridgeway communities that goes into this decision. But that's a short rundown, at least, of the fiscal implications. Citizens might notice that on our school board agenda posted for next Monday night's meeting, there is a link that allows for public input with regard to this topic. Please fill out that form and enter it. We will not, because of the coronavirus, be able to have the good public forums that we would love to have when this kind of a critical issue comes to play, but we do want to hear the public feedback. So please search for that link, fill out that form, or email me at the school district, and I will share that email with the school board so that they have the benefit of your input to this issue as well. Thanks very much for watching.